Hey there everyone, my name is Miranda and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a TBR for the month of May. I usually don't do TBRs. I usually just kind of choose what I want to read based on what I'm feeling, what I'm most excited about. I usually don't have a set list. I usually kind of have a list of ones I want to read most, and from that I'll pick based on my mood. But for the most part, I'll usually just choose whichever one I'm most excited to read next after what I just finished. The biggest reason I have a TBR this month, though, is because I'm doing a reading challenge with a friend of mine back home in Canada. We are challenging ourselves to read a bunch of books that we have placed within categories that we ourselves have picked out. I only have 6. She has a couple more than I do because she wants to finish quite a few, especially now that she's done classes. I have final assignments coming up this month, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish nearly as many. So I have 6 books on this list in 6 different categories of such. This isn't a set reading challenge that's been created. It's just one we made up ourselves that we're doing for fun. In fact, we would just go back and forth picking the categories ourselves. So for the first category I picked for us to find books for was a newer book we've received or bought. So my pick is Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. I just received this in a fairy loot box. So this is the newest book I have on my shelf. I hadn't heard this book until I saw it in the fairy loot box. I'm very excited to read it. It has Vikings in it, there's prophecy in it, there is a young girl who has to team up with her enemy in order to prevent the end of everything she knows and loves. So yeah, looking forward to this. I also chose the category to read this one as I'm also reading it with my Fairy Loot buddy from the card in the box. The next category my friend picked, and this one is a book that is least likely to have a romance, and for that I chose Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I don't really know if there will be a romance in this. I'm assuming it's not going to be a big thing from what I have heard about these books. Also, nothing in the back seems to make me think much about a romance. It sounds more so that it will be a book with a lot of friendship in it and a lot of adventure, so I thought it fit this category. This book follows 2 friends who are witches, one of whom is a very powerful witch with a power that many would like to have their hands on, and she is constantly trying to keep herself out from her enemy's clutches or the clutches of those who would abuse her powers, and it's getting very difficult for them to maintain their freedom with everything that is going on in their world. I heard about this book on A Clockwork Reader. I think it sounds kind of amazing. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I believe the newest book in the series is being released very soon or has just been released. So the next category is again one I chose, and this one was first book in a series that is longer than 3 books long. This one is a library book on my e-reader, and it is Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I don't know too much about this book. I do know it is a fantasy book. The biggest reason I chose this book is that Regular Peruse Project really likes it and its spin-off series, and it sounds like kind of a fantastic read, so I thought I'd give it a try. Also, I just really like fantasy series, and this one also had beautiful covers and they caught my eye really, really well. So yeah, I'm sorry I really don't know much about it. I will leave the Goodreads link down below so you can have a look if you're interested. Okay, so the next category is another one that my friend picked, and this one is a horror or a thriller, and for that I chose The Wicked Cometh by Lauren Carlin. So this was a slight impulse buy for me because of the cover. So yeah, I love the cover of this book. I have read the little bit on the inside that lets you know what the book is going to be about, and it does sound absolutely amazing. I hoed and hummed in my head for a couple days whether or not I wanted to read it. Finally decided it sounded like a beautifully dark book, and like I said, the cover was gorgeous. This book is about 2 women in early 1800s London. One of them is a poor girl from the streets, the other is from a much more well-to-do family, but they both cross paths and they become sort of entangled in some of the darkest parts of London and some very dark and devious things that are going on. So it does sound like a thriller, and it's a historical thriller. I'm very excited about it, especially since it's set in the early 1800s. I really do like a lot of books that are set in that time period. The next category was one we agreed on together, and that is a sequel of a book you have finished. So I don't yet have it. I am going to be getting this book hopefully before the end of the month because I do want to read it before the 3rd book is released next month, and that will be Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. So yeah, I read Ember in the Ashes last month, which was the first book. I'll be reading Torch Against the Night this month. Next month, A Reaper at the Gate comes out, and I'm hoping to either get my hands on it if I can find a paperback copy, which I don't think is going to come out for a little while yet. If not, I will be borrowing it. I prefer all my books to be the same type of book. Doesn't really matter if the covers match as much. I just need them to all be paperback or all be hardcover. It just looks prettier on my shelves if they all stay roughly the same. The last category is again one we agreed on, and this one was we literally just held up what books we had left to choose from, and we picked it for each other. So Sammy picked for me The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Again, I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about this book. It is very, very popular right now. Everyone seems to love it. I'm very excited to read this book. I bought this during my trip in London. So this book takes place in a world where magic is sort of gone. It's been ripped away from them because of a ruler that has now taken over the land, and he does not like magic, and the main character is now setting out against him along with a runaway princess, and they are being hunted down. That's the most I'm going to say about this book. I'm pretty sure most people have already heard of this book. If not, again, Goodreads page will be down below. So yeah, I have 6 books, and part of this challenge is if we complete a certain amount, there will be a reward at the end of it. The main one is, and the one that I'm participating in, is that if I finish 5 books, I will get to purchase a book. However, I do not choose the book I purchase, my friend does. There will be rules about it. We're gonna give each other a list that we're allowed to pick from, and from that list we will pick a book for the other to purchase. So I am hoping I make it to that point. That would be very nice, and it'd be interesting to see which of my TBR she picks from. So yeah, I'm hoping to at least finish 5 books if I can. That would be a miracle this month. So here we are, plus the Torch Against the Night, which will be coming, and then my e-reader with Falling Kingdoms. But yeah, I think I can finish 4 or 5 if I'm lucky. I don't know, I got assignments due, it's end of term. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click that like button down below. And if you want to see more videos by me, please click that subscribe button. And as I said a few times in this video, for any of those books you're interested in, I will leave the Goodreads page down below so you can have a look at them. And I'll see you next time. Bye!